Ollie and the strange secret Torley was an ordinary boy living in a small house in Lahore. He was just 7 years old, but his dreams were bigger than the sky. He loved playing with his friends during the day, or sitting by his bedroom window at night and staring at the stars. But the most special part of his day was when he could close his eyes and let his imagination run wild each night. After everyone else in the house had fallen asleep, Ollie would open one of his storybooks and get lost in the worlds of magic, dragons, and faraway places. His mother used to tell him a bedtime story every night, and he cherished those gentle moments, feeling safe and loved. But that night was different. Ali lay in his bed, his eyes closed, slowly drifting towards sleep. The whole house was quiet. Only the gentle tick-tock of the wall clock and the soft purring of the neighborhood cat in the garden could be heard. Then, suddenly, a strange light flickered beneath his bed. Ollie opened his eyes, confused. "What's that?" he whispered to himself, peering over the edge of his mattress. He expected to see his old toys, or perhaps a lost sock, under there. But this time, there was something else, something completely mysterious. It was a tiny, sparkling door. Not a toy door, but a real one. Its edges glowed golden, decorated with little blue gems, and it had a perfectly round handle in the center, just like in a fairy tale. Ollie stared at it in awe. "Am I dreaming?" he wondered quietly. The light from the door seemed to pulse, as if calling for him, feeling a bittersweet mix of fear and curiosity. Ollie lifted his blanket and slipped off his bed, crawling quietly toward the magical door. His heart was pounding, but curiosity was stronger than fear. Should I open it? He thought. Very carefully, he placed his hand on the cool, round handle and twisted. Instantly, the little door swung open all by itself, and a soft, chilly breeze blew into the room. Behind the door, there was a tunnel glowing with colors like a rainbow. The ground was so soft, it felt like walking on clouds. Ollie gasped. Miracle was happening, and he was at the center of it. He had barely stepped inside when a soft, funny voice echoed in the tunnel. "Welcome, Ollie." Ollie jumped, looking everywhere. Who said that? Suddenly, out from behind a swirl of colored mist, came a fluffy little cat with shiny white fur and a bright blue bow around its neck. "My name is Milo, and I'll be your guide." The cat purred, standing on its back legs like a little person. Ali's eyes widened. "You can talk, and you know my name." Milo giggled a delightful, comforting sound. "Of course, I do. I know the names of all the dreamers who find the secret door. There's adventure and magic waiting for you. But don't worry, everything here is friendly and safe." Ali grinned. Suddenly, his fear melted away. If this was a dream, it was the best one ever. Milo the cat tiptoed along the glowing tunnel, and Ollie followed closely, his heart beating with excitement. Beautiful streams of light danced along the tunnel walls. "The first rule here," Milo explained with a twinkle in her eye, "is never be afraid. In every world behind this door, you'll make a friend and learn something new." They walked farther, their feet sinking into the fluffy, cloud-like floor. The tunnel twisted and turned, colors swirling around them like a gentle storm of rainbows. At the end of the tunnel, a huge golden glow appeared, as if the sun had been squeezed into a little ball. "Are you ready?" Milo asked. Ali nodded, smiling wide. Together, they stepped into the glow and, suddenly, the world changed. Ali found himself standing on a floating island in the sky. All around him, Dozens of cute, soft little islands floated gently atop fluffy white clouds. The air was fresh and cool. The sky was painted with every shade of blue and pink. Tiny birds with shiny feathers zipped between the islands, chirping happy songs. Ollie's eyes sparkled. "This is amazing," he whispered. Milo smiled proudly. "This is the land of floating islands," she explained. "Every night, the islands drift together for a big friendship festival. But tonight, something is wrong. The islands are getting farther and farther apart, and soon, none of the bird families will be able to visit each other. Do you think you can help?" Ollie nodded bravely. He didn't know how he could possibly help fix such a big problem. But with Milo and his imagination, anything seemed possible. As a soft, magical breeze tugged at his hair, Ollie looked around. Little bridges connected some of the islands, but most were hanging all alone, far above the ground. "Don't worry," Milo said, her tail flicking. "We'll make friends with the keeper of these islands. But first, let's find him." And so Ollie's very first magical adventure began a journey across the floating islands, making new friends, learning about teamwork, and finding wonders at every step, all beneath the gentle, peaceful glow of bedtime magic. As Ollie followed Milo back into the shimmering tunnel, the gentle music from the floating island festival still echoed in his mind. Each step he took, the light changed, swirling from sky blue to a deep emerald green. He felt calm, but curious where would the secret door take him now? Milo walked beside him, whispering, "Next stop, the forest of talking trees. It's an ancient place, filled with stories that have never been told." Ali's eyes widened. "Trees can talk." Milo grinned. "Every tree here has its own story, secrets, wisdom, even jokes. But you have to listen carefully. Some trees only speak in riddles, and others whisper when you least expect it." As they stepped out of the tunnel, Ali found himself beneath a canopy of impossibly tall trees. Their trunks glimmered with patterns of light swirls, stars, and shapes that almost seemed to move. The air was fresh and cool, and everything was hushed, as if the leaves themselves were waiting for something. Above him, branches stretched high into a twilight sky speckled with faint stars. Small fireflies danced gently, painting golden trails in the air. The whole forest hummed quietly, ready to share its secrets. Ali took a shy step forward. "Hello," he said. At first there was just silence, then, suddenly, a gentle chuckle echoed from above. Double quotes. Well, a new visitor," rumbled a deep, wise voice. Ollie looked up and saw the face of the oldest tree, its bark shaped into kindly eyes and a broad, gentle smile. A few bright leaves fell like confetti as the tree breathed. Milo nodded toward it. "That's Grandfather Oak. He remembers all who walk through the forest." Grandfather Oak's leaves rustled. "Welcome, young Ollie. Every child who listens learns something here. Are you ready to listen?" Ollie nodded eagerly. "Yes, I want to hear your stories." The great tree began, his voice deep and warm. "In this forest, every tree has watched lifetimes come and go. We've seen laughter and tears, stormy winds and sunny days. Our roots hold memories, our branches reach for hope. But what we treasure most is sharing with each other, and with anyone who is willing to listen." Ali sat down with Milo at the base of Grandfather Oak, feeling cozy and safe. As the grand tree spoke, nearby trunks shimmered to life, their faces appearing in knots and curves on the bark, each smiling and eager for a turn to speak. "Long ago," said a birch tree with silvery bark, I was just a seed, carried by a curious squirrel. Though I grew alone for many years, one day I found myself in the middle of this great family. I learned that even if you start alone, you can always find friends. A maple tree chattered happily, and I loved to dance. In autumn, I cover the ground with my golden leaves for children to play in. Joy is like sunshine, it spreads faster when you let yourself shine. Ali listened, enchanted. Everywhere he turned, a tree's story was different. Some were funny, others brave, a few even sad. He felt a little overwhelmed, so many stories, all at once. He glanced at Milo, suddenly unsure. How do I remember everything? What if I get lost in all these tales? Milo curled her tail around him. You don't have to remember everything. Just listen with your heart, and you'll keep what matters most. Ollie felt comforted, and as he closed his eyes, he let the forest's voices fill his mind like a gentle lullaby. Suddenly, a soft, whispery giggle came from a sapling, a very young tree. Ali, can you help me? The sapling asked shyly. Ali opened his eyes. The sapling's leaves were drooping just a bit, and it looked lonely. What's wrong? Ollie asked gently. I'm afraid I'll never grow as tall or wise as the big trees, the sapling whispered. No one listens to tiny trees. Ollie crouched beside it. I know how you feel. Sometimes I wish I were taller, faster, or braver too. But even when you're small, you're still important. Every tree started out just like you. The sapling brightened. Its leaves perked up, and the glow on its bark grew warmer. Thanks, Ollie. Will you tell me a story? Ollie nodded, remembering the grumpy hedgehog and the festival from before. So he told the sapling about his floating island adventure, about kindness and teamwork, and how everyone can make a difference. As he finished, the other trees leaned in, listening carefully. The sapling giggled. Now I have a story to share too. Grandfather Oak's great voice rumbled with pride. You've already learned the true secret of this forest, Ollie. Sometimes, listening is the greatest gift of all, but sharing your own heart gives the gift right back. Suddenly, a gentle wind drifted through the branches, carrying stories old and new. Ollie felt wrapped in their warmth. All around him, he saw how even the oldest, strongest tree listened to the youngest and smallest, and every story mattered. Ali realized then, every voice counts, and everyone deserves a turn to speak, no matter how small. The fireflies gathered, swirling in a spiral above him and Milo, their golden light twinkling like little stars. Milo whispered, It's time for one more story before we move on, Ollie. Grandfather Oak wants to give you a memory for your own heart. The great tree bent a branch down, dropping a glowing, leaf-shaped charm into Ali's hands. Whenever you listen to a friend or share your heart, this will glow to remind you of our forest and your own kindness. Ollie smiled sleepily, the charm warm in his hand. He looked around, knowing he had made friends, learned to listen, and helped a little tree feel important. As Milo stood and stretched, ready to guide him onward, Ali rose too, his heart full of gentle stories and memories. They walked together toward the edge of the forest. The night felt softer, his step lighter, the secret door's tunnel shimmering in the distance. He knew there were more worlds to visit, more adventures to come, but tonight, the forest of talking trees would whisper peacefully in his dreams. With Milo by his side, Ollie stepped back into the glowing tunnel, the leaf charm shining softly in his palm. Ollie blinked as the cool, shimmering tunnel shifted around him and Milo. It was quieter, now the gentle sounds of water faded, replaced by the faintest whispers of music. Ollie heard soft notes floating through the air, like wind chimes at dusk, and every step he took seemed to make the ground hum beneath his feet. As they emerged from the tunnel, Ollie gasped. Before him rose a tall, dreamlike castle made entirely of star-shaped stones and moonbeamed glass. Every turret sparkled softly, and silvery banners floated in an invisible breeze. All around the castle, tiny lights swooped and swayed as if they were dancing in the air. Milo grinned, her whiskers twitching. "Welcome, Ali, to the castle of lost lullabies. This is where lullabies, dreams, and sleepy melodies come to rest. When children stop singing them, sometimes forever, sometimes just until someone remembers." Ali smiled, taking in the magical sight. "It sounds beautiful and a little bit sad." The castle gates creaked open, and a wave of sweet, gentle music drifted out. Inside, the halls weren't empty. Dozens of floating notes hovered in the air, glowing gently. Small ones giggled as they zipped by, while larger notes drifted slowly through hallways like sleepy butterflies. The air was pleasantly thick with the scents of lavender and warm milk. At the heart of the castle, a gentle figure awaited. She wore a robe stitched from strands of silver and gold, and her hair shone like moonlight. Her eyes were as kind as the deepest dreams. "I am Lady Luna," she said, in a voice so soft and musical that it made Ollie's eyes grow heavy for a moment. "I am the keeper of the lullabies. You are welcome here, dreamer." Ollie bowed politely. "Why do lullabies come here?" he asked. Lady Luna smiled, leading Ali and Milo through glowing halls filled with the quietest music. "Lullabies come here when they are forgotten, or when a little one grows too fast and stops believing in the magic of sleep. Some get lost during busy nights, some are simply waiting for their singer to remember them again." Ollie looked around at the glowing notes, some humming, some silent. "Could I help?" Lady Luna nodded. "Tonight, a most important lullaby is lost one. That soothes every heart in the castle. Without it, everyone here is restless. The castle can't shine, and the world outside feels just a little less safe. Would you help us find it?" Ali nodded without hesitation. "Let's search." Lady Luna waved her hand. The walls shimmered, and Ollie found himself in a magical maze of rooms. Each room echoed with faint lullabies, one soft and dreamy, another playful, another wistful and old. Ollie listened, following a trail of the softest notes. Along the way, he met a giggling note. Hiding behind velvet curtains, a weepy note stuck in a music box, and a forgetful note that kept bumping into walls. Ollie comforted each one, sang quietly, or listened when they needed to talk, just as he had learned in the forest of talking trees. Each note glowed brighter, before floating joyfully to join the others. Finally, in a quiet, moonlit room at the heart of the castle, Ollie found a single lullaby tucked into a corner. It glowed faintly, looking small and lonely. "Hello," Ollie whispered. The lullaby shivered and replied in a tiny, melodic whisper, "I can't remember how I go. No one has sung me for so long. I don't think anyone needs me anymore." Ollie sat beside the note, thinking. He remembered the bluebirds' festival, the little sapling's worries, and his own heart when he was alone. Every lullaby is needed sometimes. Someone just forgets for a while. But you're never truly lost. Ollie began to hum, at first softly, just the melody his mother would sometimes sing at bedtime. Lady Luna's voice gently joined his, weaving familiar words and gentle rhythms. The lost lullaby began to glow, brighter, slowly remembering its warm, soothing tune. As Ollie sang, Milo twined around his feet, purring. The lullaby's glow grew, filling the room with comforting light. "You did it," Lady Luna said, smiling, her eyes shining. The lost lullaby floated up, swirling with the other notes. Suddenly, the whole castle shone like a silver lantern. Gentle music drifted through open windows into the world beyond softening fears, easing restless dreams and filling sleeping children everywhere with comfort. Ali smiled, feeling utterly peaceful. "Is the lullaby okay now?" Lady Luna knelt down because you believed it found its way home. Every time you hum a gentle tune or share kindness, you help magic return to the world. Never forget that. Ollie yawned, sleepiness drawn from the warm music and gentle lights. "Thank you for letting me help." Milo nudged him, purring. "Whenever you feel worried or alone, remember the lullaby inside your heart. It will always guide you home." Hand in hand with Milo, Ollie followed Lady Luna through the shining castle gates. The gentle music became quieter and softer, like a breeze carrying him away. The sparkling tunnel ahead shimmered, ready to take Ali to his next dream world, his heart calm, safe, and so very sleepy. He glanced back only once enough to see the castle glowing in the moonlight, its windows shining hope everywhere. With one last nod to Lady Luna and the gentle lullabies, Ollie stepped into the tunnel, ready for what awaited. That, somewhere, a new adventure always gently waited for him. Ollie and Milo stepped out of the shimmering tunnel one last time. The world around them was quieter now, touched with the faint silver of dawn. The air was neither too warm nor too cold, just comfortable, like a blanket pulled up over sleepy shoulders. Ollie's steps were slower, a gentle tiredness in his eyes, but his heart felt wide awake. He looked at Milo and smiled, knowing he had wandered through incredible places, sky islands, talking forests, dazzling underwater cities, a castle filled with music and dreams. Everything he'd seen, everyone he'd helped, shimmered inside him like the twinkling stars above. "Is this the end?" Ollie asked softly, a hint of sadness in his voice. Milo's eyes sparkled. "Every dream has an ending, but every ending is a new beginning too. You've learned so much, Ali. Soon it'll be time to wake up, but the magic will always stay with you." Ahead, the glow of the secret tunnel brightened. Ali and Milo walked a little further. The dream worlds faded, and the colors softened, as if the magic were gently bidding him goodbye. Ali paused and looked back one more time. He saw little glimpses of each world-floating islands joined in festival lights, a wise old tree waving his leafy arms, bright mirrors shining under the sea, the castle glowing with lullabies. All the friends he'd made, birds, bunnies, dolphins. Lady Luna, the kind old heron, even the shy saplings smiled and waved, their sparkly figures tucked round the edges of his memory like bookmarks in a favorite story. He felt a warm, comforting squeeze in his hand. Milo, ever gentle, now glimmered brighter than before. Milo spoke quietly. "Whenever you feel alone, whenever you need courage or kindness or hope, close your eyes and remember these adventures. The worlds you visited are always here, inside your heart, and the secret doorwell it will always open for those who truly believe." Ali nodded. He reached into his pocket and felt tiny treasures from every world, the glowing leaf charm, a marble of laughter and kindness, and the soft memory of a lullaby echoing inside him. He hugged Milo and said, "Thank you for being my friend and for showing me how big and beautiful dreams can be." Milo purred, nuzzled him, and whispered, "You brought the magic to every place you visited, Ollie. Goodbye for now." A gentle light surrounded Ollie, softer and warmer than anything he'd ever known. His eyelids grew heavy. He felt himself floating, drifting gently back toward the world he knew. The tunnel slowly faded, the magical places dissolving into a calm, peaceful glow. And just before everything went quiet, Ollie heard a chorus of voices, trees, birds, lullabies, and Milo, all softly singing, "Sleep well, dreamer. The adventure always continues." Ollie opened his eyes to the gentle light of his room. His bed felt soft and safe, the morning sunlight slipping through the curtains. He smiled, hugging his pillow. Were the adventures real? Ollie touched the spot where he'd felt the leaf charm. In his heart, he knew they were. He stretched, yawned, and whispered, "Thank you. Secret door, I'll see you again tonight, or any night I believe in magic." And with the calmest, happiest feeling deep inside him, Ollie went to greet a brand new day, ready to share kindness, laughter, and dreams, knowing that his secret door would always be waiting just under his bed for his next great adventure. The end.